The Terry Anderson Show is sponsored by the Friends of Terry Anderson on Smart Talk 870 KRLA.
And now, a heavyweight in the fight against illegal immigration and defender of the First and Second Amendment rights, straight from the ghetto, the prisoner of South Central, Terry Anderson.
What's with this Terry Anderson guy?
He's articulating the popular rage.
Good people of Los Angeles, good evening. If you ain't mad, you ain't paying attention. Let's get mad on Tuesday, folks. Yeah, I know. We've got this election and you don't know what to do. Well, you know me. I never tell anybody to vote or who to vote for. But I will tell you this. You have a piss-poor excuse for candidates this Tuesday. They are horrible. Absolutely horrible. Now, I've got a gentleman that advises me from time to time and gives me his opinion, and he told me that our only hope was to vote for Simon. Here's what I want to say about all of them. Now, listen close to me. Pay attention. Not one of them is for us. Jones is not for us, Simon is not for us, and Reardon is definitely not for us. If they would come out on this issue and make themselves known and let the American people know how they felt, then maybe we could step up and do something in the way of being behind them. But they have not done that as of yet. These people have relied on name recognition. They have relied on rhetoric. They have attacked one another, but not one of them have stepped up to the plate and said, look, I am against illegal immigration. Look, our schools need to be fixed. We need to do something. Not one of them has said we must protect the American worker. Not one of them has said we must protect the American child. Not one of them has said we have too many people coming in here too fast and ruining our American culture. We have not heard that yet. If we could get one of them to say that, just one, then maybe we would say, okay, he's not a bad guy. But so far, we haven't gotten that. We had Mr. Simon on this show a couple weeks ago, and with all due respect, and I give him credit, he did show up. He wasn't afraid to come as the others were. We invited them all. But he came on here and he gave us the same old song and dance. He was tap dancing. I thought he was Bill Bojangles Robinson when he got through. He was dancing so good. He stepped around the issue, and I said, Mr. Simon, we talk about immigration on this show. That's what we deal with here, specifically illegal immigration and the scourge that it is upon our state and country. He said, well, I'm against it. Now I want to talk about the economy. No, we don't want to talk about the economy. We want to talk about illegal immigration. Well, okay, I'm against it again. How many times do you want me to say it? I want to talk about the economy in the state of California. I said, what would you do as the governor of this state against illegal immigration if you were elected? Well, he said, we had Proposition 187, but we don't want to go down that road again. We don't want to go down that road because that road is a rough road, and we did it once. It wasn't allowed, so we don't want to do that again. I want to do it 1,000 times if I have to, 500,000 times if I have to, if that's what it's going to take to save this state and save the legacy for my grandchildren. But he's not willing to do that. Mr. Jones backs away from the issue every time. He's not as bad as the rest of them, but he does back away from it, and he does not address it unless he is pressed. And Reardon, oh boy, he's in a league all of his own. Here's a guy who never met an illegal alien that he doesn't like. He has made a point to coddle and embrace every illegal alien that he can find. He's gone on record making statements that they all have a right to live here, to work here, to be educated here, no matter whether they're legal or not. He calls himself a conservative. Those are not conservative beliefs. Conservative beliefs go along with the laws of the nation. The laws of our nation tell us that we must observe the laws at the border. We must not allow people to come in here illegally. And anybody who comes in here illegally is not only an enemy of this country, but he is a criminal. I have gone back to Mr. Dan Lundgren many times. I refer back to him as an example of what a conservative politician should not be. Now, for those of you who are out of state or don't know who Dan Lundgren is, he is a Republican who ran for governor in 1998 and lost bad. He got his butt whipped. And you know why? Because he had nothing to offer the people of this state. We asked him in person many times, Mr. Lundgren, are you going to come on this immigration issue, as did your predecessor, Pete Wilson? See, Pete Wilson came out and changed the whole face of the election when he did that because people wanted to vote for somebody who was going to fix this problem. Dan Lundgren would not do it, and he got whipped, and nobody's even heard his name for 4 years. And that's what's going to happen to these three guys that are running for governor. They got nothing to offer. They're talking about the same old rhetoric issues that everybody talks about, but nothing that the people want to hear. If they would go out in the street and ask people, how do you feel about illegal immigration? Do you feel it's a huge problem in the state of California? I guarantee you that 85 out of every 100 people would tell them, yes, it is. They would stand up and be counted and say, yes, it is. Now, what are you going to do against this problem to get my vote? But they won't do that. They go out and talk about the water shortage. They talk about the energy. They talk about the roads. They talk about gas prices. They talk about automobile registrations. They talk about HMOs. They talk about all these other things. And don't get me wrong, folks. These things are important. They're very important. But no issue is important if you do not address the main issue in this country and this state, particularly in Los Angeles, and that is illegal immigration. Without fixing that, you ain't going to fix nothing. You ain't going to fix the schools. I see this guy Connolly running for the head of the schools of the state of California. He ain't mentioned one time that the schools are overcrowded because of illegal aliens crowding their kids in there. Ain't said it one time. But I'll say it for him. Mr. Connolly, if you want to get elected, why don't you tell the American people, tell Californians that the reason their schools need to be building a new school every day to keep up is because people are coming in here every day illegally. Why don't you say that? Why don't you have the guts to stand up and be counted? But no, you won't do it. You will not do it. A politician who would do that and take the lead of a Pete Wilson would be elected. Now, let me say this. The Republicans of this state, and I'm not talking to you Democrats out there because y'all don't even have a dog in this fight. I'm talking about the Republicans who are trying to kill each other to get this nomination on the 5th. You must realize that people consider this a desperate situation. You haven't got it yet. The National Republican Party has not got it yet. The National Republican Party is telling all of its candidates to go after the Hispanic vote. Well, number one, folks, to be a voter, you have to be a citizen. And to be a citizen, you have to speak English. So why are these people going around and politicking in Spanish? Why are you speaking Spanish to a people who cannot vote unless you think maybe they're going to vote illegally? See, the voters are supposed to be Americans. And Americans have to be able to speak English to become Americans if they weren't born here. So why are you speaking Spanish to them? The second thing is the Republican Party feels that if they don't cater to these people, and coddle the illegal aliens in the way of talking to the Hispanic people and saying, we want your vote, we won't deport your people, we will amnesty your people. Don't they realize these people are born Democrats, and within 5 years, a Republican won't be able to hang his hat anywhere in the state of California? And within 15 or 20 years, nowhere in the United States of America. Because as the population grows with illegal aliens, they are going to have jackpot babies. And those babies are going to be Americans, and those babies are going to be able to vote. And if you think they're going to vote Republican, then you is a fool. You are a damn fool. They ain't never going to vote for you. The only hope you have is to stop them from coming in here. Therefore, you stop them from having the jackpot babies, and therefore maybe Americans will have a foothold like they used to have, and the people who do vote will be Americans, and therefore you might have a shot in staying in power. Even you Democrats out there should not hope that the Republican Party is done away with. It is a balanced system. I talk about it all the time. And without that balanced system, you have nothing. If you want it to be all liberal, you're a fool. If you want it to be all conservative, you're a fool. We must have the balance, and that's what's going to happen in this state if the Republican Party is run out of here by illegal aliens having babies. Now, let me just say this to you folks. It's your thing to do on Tuesday. You do what you want. I don't tell people to vote or who to vote for, but a lot of you are going to vote. And if you think you're going to vote for Simon because he's the lesser of the evils, or Jones, or some idiot out there who's in a drunken stupor that wants to vote for Reardon, if you people are going to do that, you are going to do the same thing. The same thing you've been doing forever. You're just going to throw it away. What do you think would happen if you got the Republican Party's attention? How are you going to do that? What do you think would happen if you got their attention by maybe, and I'm not telling you not to vote, I'm not saying that, but maybe you just don't show up this time and you don't vote for any of these clowns. and you let the Republican Party know, I didn't go, and I ain't going until you address my issue. And then tell them, I'm going to vote for Davis just to punish you for ignoring me and allowing my situation here in California to get as good as it does. As bad as it has. But what you have done, you keep showing up for them, you keep supporting these idiots that will not support you, and you will never have their attention, ever. And you deserve what you get. Keep doing it. Keep showing up and voting for these mediocre people that they're putting out there because you feel that it's a necessity that you go out and cast that vote of yours because it's your right. It is also your right not to go in protest. And when you do it, if you don't go, you let them know that you're protesting. Let them know that you are not going to vote for any of these idiots until they address the issue. Do the same thing when they ask you for money. Tell them you'll get nothing from me. But it's up to you. Keep doing it. Keep doing it like you've been doing it, and you're going to keep getting crapped on like you've been getting crapped. It's just a matter of time before you realize that, but the time is running out. You must get their attention, and you haven't done that yet. You must get their attention. And when you do, believe me, things will change. I guarantee it. This is the Terry Anderson Show on Smart Talk 870 KRLA.
Hi, I'm Michael Levine, host of Inside Out on KRLA, and I've represented some of the biggest stars in Hollywood for over 20 years. In that time, I've tried every limousine service there is and can honestly say there's none better than Maximum Limo. They're first class, easy to deal with, and cater to all your needs. From wedding packages to prom service to simple airport runs, Maximum Limo is the service to use. Call area code 310-629-5466. Rated #1 by Los Angeles Magazine, Maximum Limo has the type of cars for all your needs. Call 310-629-5466. Maximum Limo is now offering a $50 gift certificate to all KRLA listeners. Call now, 310-629-5466. That's 310-629-5466. Mention KRLA and receive your $50 gift certificate now.
Experience Gallagher in the morning. The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Smart Talk. 870 KRLA.
We have a guest scheduled for tonight, folks. He has not showed up yet, but we have a line open for him. We hope he will call in soon, and then we will get to it. A very special guest. I'm sure you all know who it is by now. But I won't say it because I don't want to jinx the whole deal. But I do want to remind everybody to tell your friends and neighbors and relatives who cannot hear the sound of our voice to tune us in on the internet at www.krla870.com. They can hear us on the internet just like we were sitting in their front room. Those call-in numbers, folks, the lines are full, but you may get lucky later. 1-866-870-5752. 1-866-870-5752.
Now it's time for the most horriblest clown of the week.
That's right, folks. It is time for the most horriblest clown of the week. And tonight, guess what? It is not Sheila Jackson Lee, and it is not George Bush Jr. Imagine that. But we have another George Bush appointee as the most horriblest clown of the week. This week, our Attorney General, John Ashcroft, sent 700 National Guard to our northern border with Canada. Now, guess how he sent them there, folks? Unarmed. He will not allow them to carry arms at the border that they are supposed to be guarding. He has been questioned by many people in Congress as to why he's doing this. Guess who's questioning him? Not the Republicans. Oh, no. The Democrats. A senator, Patty Murray, Democrat from Washington, said this would severely limit their ability to guard the border. Now, that's something I would expect from a conservative Republican. But here is a Democratic woman senator who make a statement like that makes so much sense and puts him to shame. When asked, Ashcroft said that the U.S., get ready for this, does not want to militarize the border. Our friends in Canada are appropriately sensitive that we don't signal that we are somehow arming the border. Can you believe this, clown? Can you believe this? We don't want to offend the Canadians by thinking that we're putting arms to guard our country from maybe some terrorists. This idiot. And why do you think he's doing it? I can't read his mind, but I got an opinion. And that opinion is that Vicente Fox has been complaining all the time he's been in office that Canada is shown favoritism over Mexico. In other words, you're treating our border more harshly than you treat the border with Canada. So therefore, they won't arm the Canadian border because they don't want to arm the Mexican border and maybe make the Mexicans angry. When are we going to wake up, folks? We must protect ourselves, the sovereignty of our nation. We must do that, and we must do it now. But this clown is worried about making somebody angry, so therefore he has disarmed the National Guard going to the border. For that, we dub Mr. John Ashcroft, our Attorney General, the most horriblest clown of the week. Let's go to the phones, folks. Let's go to Martha, calling from Santa Monica. Martha, you're on the Terry Anderson Show on Smart Talk 870 KRLA.
I just love you because you just have so much common sense.
Thank you, Martha.
And
I have no money. I have no money, so I guess I got to have something, you know?
It's the only thing that doesn't cost.
Yes, ma'am.
You caught the same thing I did, the man that came on Ray Bream's show and saying that Mr. Simon was the lesser of evils. If the people fall for this again and again and again and again, they're all evil. If you want to put it on that level, it doesn't make any difference if they're the lesser. They're still evil.
And Martha, we keep going for it.
We
keep going for it over and over and over and over. Well, he's the best one. If they're all horrible, leave them alone.
Well, you know, the only poll that counts is the one on the 5th of March. But there was an interesting poll on online, which is notorious for being wrong. However, it was interesting. It was on Channel 4. And it said, who of the three or the four would you vote for? Davis, Simon, Jones, or Reardon? And 56% voted for none of the above.
Isn't that something?
And I got to tell you, I'm with none of the above. If people,
I love him.
If people would read their voter guide, we have people in there. They're little gems. They probably won't win, but they do carry our message. And one that I will vote for, and I know you won't say who you're going to vote for, but maybe he won't win, but he will carry our message, and he's been there from the beginning. He's not a Johnny-come-lately, and will at the last minute, like some of these people coming in at the last minute to see if they can deceive us again. It's Nick Jessen. He may not win, but he's right there. He says he'll put the National Guard on the border. He will veto any bill that would give benefits to illegal aliens, and he goes on and on. There's not one other, none, not Reardon, not Jones or Simon have said one thing about the immigration problem in their resume.
Well, Martha, you know me. I don't endorse anybody, but let me just say this. I have talked in depth with Nick Jessen, and Nick told me from the very beginning that he was not only against it, because even Simon and Jones say they're against it, but Nick Jessen had some things that he said that he would do. Now, I applaud a guy who goes out on a limb like that. He knows he's going to be somewhat ostracized in the press maybe, but he went out on a limb and said, look, I'm going to do this. I would put him out of schools. I would.
Absolutely.
You know, and so I give him credit for that. So people, you have to make up your mind. If you keep voting for these same people, let me tell you what you're doing. It's like reaching into a toilet full of snakes. You know? Now, you don't want to get bit by the black mamba or the rattlesnake, but you'll take the bite from the cobra. You know what I mean? And that's what's happening. You're going to get bit by any of these people who you vote for. They are all sorry, and one is no better than the other, and I will make that statement. I don't care who doesn't like what I say. It's the truth. But keep on with the status quo, and you will get the status quo.
The truth is what we need, and there are people, if you would read Your voter guide. I urge you to look at Nick Jessen, whether you vote for him or not.
Okay,
I will.
Martha.
But there are others in that voter guide that have come straightforward about this issue.
All right, Martha. Thank you for the call. We always appreciate
God
it.
bless.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right, folks. Well, let's take another call. Let's go to Gail calling from Farmingville, New York. Gail, you're on the Terry Anderson Show.
Hi, Terry. How are you?
I'm just fine. How are you, Gail?
I'm fine. Listen, we met last summer. You were up here at the Station Quality of Life convention.
I remember you well, and I want to thank you for staying up tonight.
Oh, that's all right. It's really past my bedtime, I'll tell you. But maybe you can ask Mr. Tancredo for me a question for me.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to know what he's planning to do about the aliens that are already here illegally.
It's a good question.
The ones that are already in this country.
Well, let me tell you this. That's one of the things that's always ignored, Gail. The interior enforcement.
Exactly.
And yeah, we want the borders closed. We want the people put out of here. We want the visa overstayers to leave. But what about those people who have been here for 10 or 12 years and have just lived an illegal life because they are criminals? You can give them any name you want. They are criminals. And if he shows up tonight, I will ask him, because that is a very good question. Those of us who live around large numbers of illegal aliens want to know if those people are going to be deported.
I mean, you remember our town and you saw what it was like. And
oh, yeah.
Because we've had such a mild winter up here, I don't think most of them didn't even go home.
Well,
Maybe they were afraid they weren't going to get back abroad.
I'm going to tell you and the rest of the people listening, Gail, that is a beautiful part of the country.
Thank you.
That's Long Island, New York. Oh, just absolutely beautiful. But when we went down, I think it was Horse Block Road, I believe was the name of it. When we went down that street, I got homesick because I saw illegal aliens urinating in the bushes, hanging out, heckling the women. It was just like being right here in Los Angeles. And it reminded me of home. And as soon as we turned the corner and got away from there, it got beautiful again. And I'm telling you, you people are way ahead of where we were. We should have been doing 10 years ago what you folks are doing now. Had we done that, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But I applaud you and all the rest of the good folks back there for the work you're doing. Gail, thanks so much for calling.
You're welcome, Terry.
Thanks for staying up.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. You take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yes, folks, we had Mr. Tom Tancredo, the congressman, scheduled for tonight. He may call in at a later date or maybe later on tonight. I don't know. We just called his scheduling person. They said it is on his schedule, and she's trying to get in touch with him. But in the meantime, we will take one more call before the break. Let's go to Leon, calling from Los Angeles.
Hey, Terry, how you doing?
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, pretty good. You remember me from
Absolutely.
La Cañada.
Remember you well, Leon.
Yeah. Hey, Terry, I wanted to try to get in touch with you last week, but I was away somewhere. But anyway, there's another method. You probably are familiar with it, and from another part of the world that illegal aliens are getting here. Not only from Mexico, even though Mexico's a conduit for Mexicans and people from other countries coming over across the border, but I'm talking about across the water, Terry. And did you hear about these Chinese on not only on the West Coast but also on the East Coast there in New York? And they found them on boats off both Atlantic and Pacific Ocean.
In the containers.
And recently here in Long Beach off our coast and in containers coming over here, illegally. And Costco has claim to that port. And really, Terry, not only we should patrol the borders, but get the Coast Guard and the Navy on both coasts, the Atlantic and as well as the Pacific coast, to see who and what's coming in here and what they're bringing in here.
You know what, Leon? That has been a problem for some time. And I think the numbers of containers they actually check are something like 1 in every 250 or something they actually look in. And, I mean, it has been an ongoing problem. Sometimes these people have whole little cities set up inside of a container with cooking facilities and bathroom facilities. And there might be 20 or 30 of them in there smuggling themselves into the country. It's not just Mexico, Leon. And I guess I should make that more plain than I have. We have illegal aliens. And I talk about a lady that called me from, I think, Illinois or Iowa maybe, who talks about the Polish illegal aliens in her community. So they're coming from everywhere. It's just that there's so many Mexicans coming into this country now. They're closer. Therefore, it's going to be more of them, so we concentrate on them. But, yeah, it is a problem from all over the world. They're coming from Europe. They're coming from Africa. They're coming from Iceland. They're coming from everywhere. We must be more vigilant. These containers should be checked. They should get some type of technology that can detect any type of maybe heat inside inside the container from a human body or something like that. But it is a problem. It is a problem. And I promise that I will check into this and see what can be done. I don't know if anything can be done or they want to do anything. But I know we don't want to have 1 million Chinese coming in here every year. Not that I have anything against the Chinese. I don't want 1 million nothing coming in here.
No. And another thing, Terry, one more before I let you go. Also, too, you might be aware of this, too, from getting back to Mexico now, they discovered tunnels coming from Mexico, going up under the border, and in Texas, probably going up under the Rio Grande River there, and they coming out on the other side, but they have buildings on the Mexican side, and under these buildings or houses where they can smuggle their dope or drugs or weapons or whatever, they can go up under these tunnels and go to another building or house on this side, U.S. border, and
Leon,
bring their contraband. Just like they over there halfway around the world bomb these tunnels in Afghanistan to get the Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, flush them out of there and whatever. They can do the same thing on that border.
I'm with it, brother. I'm with it. And some of these tunnels are very sophisticated, but you are right. Leon, thanks for the call, buddy. You call me again.
I sure will,
You take care.
All right.
See there, folks, it ain't just coming across the border. Now they're going under the border. They're coming in container ships. They're coming every kind of way they can get here. They turned back some illegal Cubans the other day that they caught in the water because, once they make it to shore, they let them stay. I wouldn't let nobody stay. They'd all have to go, and they would have to go very quick. Let's go to Wendy, calling from Northridge. Wendy, you're on the Terry Anderson Show.
Terry, how are you?
Just fine. How you doing, Wendy?
I'm good. Listen, we'd like to invite you to the Republic Forum on Thursday because we're having Ted Gunderson.
Okay.
So if you can make it, we'd appreciate it.
Wendy, do you have a phone number or?
Yeah. Our address is 5657 Lindley Avenue in Tarzana, California, and our phone number is 818-385-4003. You won't want to miss Ted Gunderson.
Ted's a good guy. Give that address one more time.
Okay. 5657 Lindley Avenue in Tarzana, California.
Okay. And what time is that?
It starts at 7:30.
On what day?
This Thursday.
All right, Wendy. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Terry. God bless. Keep the faith.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right, folks. It's Ted Gunderson's a good guy. You might want to get out there and see him. He is very informative, and he comes right from the hip with most of the stuff he says. All right, let's take one more before the break. Let's go to Mark calling from Los Angeles. Mark, you're on the Terry Anderson Show on Smart Talk, 870 KRLA.
Hi, Terry. I had a question for Congressman Tancredo.
Yeah, we all did, Mark.
Yeah, well, what I was going to ask him was, it was actually a legislative question. Recently they had this fast-track authority passed through Congress, and I was just wondering if he knew, maybe you could ask him if he ever gets on, whether he's concerned whether the president could sidestep Congress and bring in hundreds of thousands of guest workers and H-1Bs through a treaty. I know President Bush is going down to Mexico in mid-March, and I'm very concerned that somehow he could sign a treaty or something with President Fox and totally sidestep Congress and allow.
I wouldn't put it past him, Mark.
I'm sorry?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm really, really nervous.
Well, I tell you what. If he shows up, I will ask him.
Will you do that?
You have my word on it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thanks for calling. It's a good question. And sometimes the callers come up with much better questions than I have, but that is a good question, and I will ask it. We're going to take our break, folks. This is the Terry Anderson Show on Smart Talk 870 KRLA.
Southern California's Smart Talk 870 KRLA.
It's that time of the evening that you all wait for so much. It is 8:33 and 46 seconds, the time for our Mad Minute. That is your chance as a listener to call in here and raise a little hell. And tonight we are lucky to have a gentleman who I know is one of the hell raisers of all hell raisers, Rick Altman, live from the city of San Francisco, California. Rick, let us have it.
Well, I'm Rick Altman, the Western Field Director for the Federation for American Immigration Reform, and I'm mad as hell. In 1 week, we'll be at the 6-month anniversary of the attack on America that killed over 3,000 people at the World Trade Center in Pentagon. And what has changed in the last 6 months? Not much. Besides being reminded constantly to be on guard against another attack, not much has changed at all. Old Congress passed the Patriot Act, but mass immigration continues into our country as before. You know, it was suggested that we have a 6-month moratorium on student visas so we can monitor their movements. 6 of the September 11th terrorists entered on student visas, but that was shut down by the education industry that would have lost money if we'd had taken that common-sense step. Mohammed Atta, the ringleader of the September 11th terrorists, entered our country through Miami International and should have been turned around and sent back to Europe 4 times because of a visa overstay and misstating his purpose for entering our country. But he was allowed in. Why? Because the tourism industry lobbied the federal government not to be too hard on tourists coming into Florida. The murdering hijackers use U.S. identification to board their deadly flights in the form of Florida, Virginia, and New Jersey driver's licenses and ID cards. 13 of the terrorists had Florida driver's license or ID cards. 7 had Virginia driver's license, and 2 had New Jersey license. Yet even today, some states are considering laws that would make it easier for illegal aliens and terrorists to get valid state driver's license that would help terrorists to evade detection and capture, open bank accounts, to move money around, to help terrorist cells plan their murderous attacks. Why? Who wants these licenses for everyone that's entered our country without inspection? Business wants it. Business that makes money on cheap labor provided by illegal aliens. That is the one reason why immigration continues as if nothing happened. Seen the headlines of the past few days? Billions worth of drugs entered U.S. by tunnel. Terrorists thought to have 10-kiloton nuclear weapons smuggled into New York City. Time magazine asked, can we stop the next attack? Even the U.S. Coast Guard is asking fishermen to keep a lookout off our coast. All of this because for decades we have not secured our borders or acted as if our sovereignty was the least bit important. The cheap labor lobby's lust for profits exceeds any concern for the system that allows them to exist. Reduced wages, lost jobs, increased poverty, the drain on our infrastructure, murdering terrorists, changes to our country and culture are all just so much collateral damage. Now, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm asking you to get mad as well. Get on the phone to your congressmen and senators and let them know that you're as mad as hell and get them to do something about this outrage. The best system in the world won't work if we won't. Let's work the democratic system that was handed down to us from our forefathers. Tell them, let them hear our anger, and enough of us call, they will respond. I'm Rick Altman for the Federation for American Immigration Reform, and I'm mad as hell.
Thank you so much, Rick. We appreciate it. That was a mad minute, folks. Glenn Spencer, calling from Sherman Oaks. Glenn, you're on the Terry Anderson Show. Hello, Glenn.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. And, I'm mad as hell as well.
Ain't we all?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. A week ago, I was in Tom Tancredo's office, and I met with his immigration fellow, and Jonathan Prey. And he had heard about this Conquest of Aslan video, and he said, Glenn, I want to get one to every member of our caucus. So the next day, there were 50 copies of Conquest of Aslan in his office, together with 50 copies of the CD with the audio track, and now they're in the hands of every member of the caucus. But I'm mad as hell, Terry, and I want to tell you something. How many times over the years have we asked for people to come out and support us in the rally, and just a handful show up?
Quite a few times, Glenn.
Hundreds of times, right, Terry?
Yeah, you're right. You are right.
I've got a new policy, Terry. I'm mad as hell at the people out there. And we got a new policy that we just instituted this week. We're not going to hold another rally. We're going to call for them. We may call for one soon when the president's in Mexico. But I will not go forward with it unless we get 500 people to email us, call us, or fax us and tell us they're coming.
Good idea, Glenn. Good idea.
I'm not going to do it anymore.
Why would you?
I'm not going to do it anymore.
Why would you, Glenn? There's a few people out here on point, walking point out here, taking the flak, taking the heat. And what happens when we go out there, we're standing out there with our behinds hanging out, and nobody will support us. Now, we know that people don't like it because we get the mail, we get the emails, we get the phone calls, but bring your behinds out there. That's what they got to do.
7,000 people on our email list. There are 5,000 of them in Southern California. We've got cards and letters we can send out. Now, if you want to have a rally, our number is 1-800-600-VOICE. Call us, leave a message on the machine if you want with your phone number. Say, call me the next time you have a rally. Send us a fax, 501-0359 in the 81 area. Get on AmericanPatrol.com and get on the email, because I'll tell you something, there will never be another rally unless I get 500 people for each and every time saying, I'll be there with you.
Sounds fair,
Is that
Glenn.
fair, Terry?
That's absolutely fair.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Glenn.
Okay.
All right. I understand his frustration. All right, let's go to Kay Ann, calling from Indianapolis, Indiana. Kay, you're on the Terry Anderson Show.
Hey, Terry.
How you doing?
Well, hi from your L.A. sister city, Indianapolis, where we're just as run over by illegals as L.A. is.
We have no monopoly anymore.
No, you don't. It's a national thing.
Yes,
Better
ma'am.
Hang on to your chair, because I got some bad news for you, man. I went to the Stein report, and I reread the thing. And, I found something that I didn't notice there before. Let me tell you about it. You were talking about the disarmed National Guards up on the Canadian border.
Right.
Right in the Stein report, let me quote, it says, Ridge took pains to say that the presence of disarmed National Guard troops to assist with the inspections of people and cargo along the U.S.-Mexico border was not militarizing the border. What are we doing? Are we putting targets on our husbands, on our wives, on our brothers, on our kids?
Yes, we are.
We're going to have them riding in an open Jeep?
Kay, let me tell you something. I have heard Ridge and Ashcroft both say that the American people do not want their border militarized, and that's a lie. I am the American people. You are the American people. I know hundreds of American people who want just that. They want that border militarized. Do I want to look like East Berlin? No, but this is the world that we've got, and if we don't do something, we're going to be in dastardly shape. So, therefore, I will take it. I will take it.
I'll take it, too. And the reason I'll take it is because we've got a president who does not fulfill his constitutional oath. He swore that he would protect
He's
our
fighting
states.
us every way he can.
He swore he'd protect our states against invasion. And, he just pushed through this thing of saying it's okay for Mexico to grow dope.
Right.
Through Congress. Jeez. Well, their opium crops tripled this year. The marijuana crop's up by a couple of thousands of tons.
But they won't let you and I grow any.
And, well, I'm a nurse, and there's a little problem with that. Bush says he's so compassionate. Well, his first real act in office was he took pain meds away from severely ill through terminal patients.
Well, I could sit here and tell you about the things I don't like about Bush all day long. Kay, I got to move on. I want to thank you for calling up, and I also want to thank you for staying up back east and listening to our show. Keep listening. Call us again. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you
Keep
so
up
much.
A good job.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Let's go to Barbara Cole, calling from Orange County, California.
Hi, Terry.
How you doing, Barbara?
I'm fine, and you're doing your usual champion job.
Well, I'm trying.
I was so hoping that we would be able to hear Mr. Tancredo. We met him when we were in Washington, and we were hoping that even more people, because we're working very hard to get them to...
Barbara, I'm sure since he didn't show up, I'm sure he has a good reason. He's a champion, and I'm sure things came up for him, so we'll reschedule him. He will be on.
I'm sure he will, because he takes every opportunity to meet the real people, because he is a real patriot.
Well, we're about as real as they get, Barbara, and this is what I say about Simon and the rest of them. They don't get it. They're all rich people. They don't have to live where we live. They don't have to live like we live. They don't have to live around where we live, and they don't get it. They have not gotten it yet. And someday, when the Republican Party is as extinct as the dodo bird, then they will get it and say, you know what? Those people were telling me that this was an issue, and we didn't listen to it. So I'm gonna be real about it.
That's right. And Terry, on his Immigration Reform Caucus, I'm asking everybody to use that toll-free number to Washington, to their representatives, to sign on to the Tancredo's Immigration Reform Caucus proposals, or let's keep it real simple like you always say. You either sign on or you don't have my vote, and let's get down to the bottom line, the only language they understand.
Let them know.
No more financial
That's
support.
right. We won't give you a dime. And tell your congressperson if they don't sign on with Tancredo on this deal, tell them that you will vote for King Kong if he runs against them. You will vote for anybody who runs against them just to penalize them and punish them for not supporting us. Barbara, thanks so much for the call.
Can we put out the toll-free number,
Let's
Terry?
give it up.
Okay, please, folks, get on that phone tomorrow. It is 877-762-8762. We have got to push this for this right now. This is the security of our nation and the very lives of our citizens and our children.
This is life and death.
So please get on that phone tomorrow.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you so much.
Bye.
I've got you folks, I'm going to take my last break, but I've got something I want you folks to do. I want you to get your paper and pencil because I have an announcement for a guy I know back in Washington who's looking for somebody to help him. So have your paper and pencil ready, and after this break, I will make the announcement. This is the Terry Anderson Show on Smart Talk 870 KRLA.
Do you want the best rates on term life insurance? Of course you do. Would you like to protect your family with $1 million in coverage for less than $3 a day? It's real easy. Listen to these examples. A man age 45, non-tobacco user can obtain $1 million of coverage. Issue preferred for only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. A 50-year-old man, non-tobacco user can get $500,000 of coverage. Issue preferred for only $113 a month. And these rates are guaranteed not to change for 20 years. If you smoke, we have great rates for you too. Listen, if you want great term life insurance coverage to ensure your family's security, we're talking about $500,000 or more. That's our specialty, and no one can beat us. Call my friends at Term Busters. We're here 24 hours a day to help. Rates and availability may vary by state. 800-430-6715. 800-430-6715. 800-430-6715.
C&P's Torrance Armory is one of the friends of the Terry Anderson Show. And yes, they do have guns, ammo, and accessories for all your personal and home defense needs. They are located 2 blocks west of Hawthorne Boulevard at Ocean Avenue at 3902 Pacific Coast Highway in the city of Torrance. That's 3902 Pacific Coast Highway. Pay these good folks a visit and let them know that you heard about them. Where? On the Terry Anderson Show.
Morality, politics, and more. The Dennis Prager Show, mornings 9 to noon and 6 to 8. Smart Talk, 870 KRLA.
I know a gentleman back in Washington, D.C., folks, works for Pro English. And what he wants to do, he wants to find small business owners out here or big business owners, either one. If you have a small business and you want to protect your right to have your employees speak English only on the job, and we know that is a problem in some of these businesses, and now the ACLU and everybody else is closing in on us to make it where people can have the Tower of Babel on your job. If you want to protect your right to have English only in your business, call this number, 703-816-8821. That's 703-816-8821. And the email address, if you want to do it the free way, that's mail@proenglish.org. The email address, once again, is mail@proenglish.org. Gentleman's name is Casey McAlpin. Give him a call or an email and let him know that you want to be part of this to protect your rights. He is going to have some lawsuits going on, some other things that may just save your business. So get involved, folks. It is important. Let's go to Jerry, calling from Victorville. Jerry, on the Terry Anderson Show, and we're running out of time.
All right, we'll make it fast. Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Tell us too, they can call our toll-free number right now, anytime during the day, and you can get through and leave your message, okay?
Okay.
Secondly, you tell them that we don't want any illegal voters in this next election we got coming up Tuesday.
No illegal voters next Tuesday.
I got my vote in for Nick Jessen. People say it's a throwaway vote. No, the man came out and said what he believed, and we can recommend him later on in the next election if we have to.
Okay, Jerry, you're breaking up, buddy. I'm sorry. Call me early next week. I'll get to you first.
God bless you,
Thank you so much, Jerry. You call me again.
Support that gun outfit.
All right.
Next to McDonald's hamburger joint.
Okay, buddy. Let's go to David, calling from Venice. David, not much time.
Hey, how you doing, Terry?
Not too bad.
I just want to say thanks. I want to say thank you.
Okay.
Keeping it real.
Oh, okay. Well, you know.
Keeping it real. I mean, let me tell you, I spend hours a day looking for news on the radio, on the TV. It's all crap, okay? I look forward to the weekends to when I can hear your show because it's an hour of realness. I have nothing else to say. I just want to let you know it's real. You keep it real at all times, brother, and I just want to say thank you.
Well, you know what, man? I appreciate your call, and the reason I appreciate it is because I want more black folks to call the show. It's not a racial thing. I just want them to call up here and represent and understand that we have the most to lose from this, and that's why I'm here, man. I'm here trying to represent as an American and show that we can all get along to fight this fight. It is so important, and I'm trying to get the brothers more involved, and that seems to be happening because we do have quite a few who call the show. But Dave, I want to thank you so much. You call me again.
Not a problem, brother. You're doing a good job. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Peace.
Okay, let's go to Larry Vance calling from Douglas, Arizona, down at the border.
Hi, Terry.
How you doing, Larry?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad, buddy.
Terry, I wanted to give you a report. Here it is. It's about 10 minutes till 10 Arizona time. We've already had 3 groups come through, one right through the property here. I don't believe the Border Patrol caught any of them, and not a damn one of those people stopped and identified themselves on the way by. So
Larry, do you ever feel a little run over there?
Well, I'll tell you what. That's my email is ran over. Ran over is an understatement. We've had, I believe, about 6 million people come through Cochise County, which is an 82-mile stretch of the border. We've had about 6 million people come through here in the last seven or 8 years. And they've got this place, they've got trails hammered into this countryside out here and through these Rocky Mountains that 100 years of cattle grazing couldn't put in.
You know what, Larry? I've been, you know me, I've been down there. And I've seen some of the stuff happening down there. And I've met you, and I met a lot of good folks down in southern Arizona. And I hear so often that these people are just good people and they come here for a better life and they come here to work. Well, I know for a fact you're a hardworking guy, and Roger and the rest of the guys down there are hardworking guys, and you want a better life, and you're good people, but nobody ever gives you any consideration. They don't care nothing about you. They don't say, well, you know, Larry Vance is down there catching hell at the border. Let's look out for him. No, I see some of the most vile things written on the internet about you guys, all because you don't want your land run over. You don't want your women unprotected. They got old people down there putting bars on their windows to protect themselves from illegal aliens. But I don't hear anybody supporting you, and I will support you, buddy. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you are my brother. You are my brother because you are an American. We have the same culture. We have the same way of life. And if somebody doesn't start thinking about you folks on the border, we are going to be sunk. And I tell people all the time, Larry's there where they come across, they end up in my neighborhood.
That's right, Terry. And, we've got common language. We've got common laws that we live under. And you know what? These people that are coming across, their first act is to break our laws. And this country was founded on law and order, and that's what's going to take it apart is if we don't enforce our laws.
Okay, buddy.
Terry, there's lots of people coming through down here. They're coming through in droves again.
Good Lord.
I just thought your listeners need to know what's going on.
Keep us up to date, buddy. Thank you so much, Larry. Say hi to that pretty wife of yours for us.
I'll do that, Terry.
All right, buddy. You take care.
Care of yourself and be safe, huh?
All right.
All right, bye now.
I want to give out that number again, folks, for English only. That number is 703 area code. The number is 816-8821, 703-816-8821. The email is mail@proenglish.org. We will put that up on our website if you folks want to go there and see it so that you can catch it later on. That's at the TerryAndersonShow.com. We got Rick Altman back, our mad-minute person who wants to make a quick announcement. Rick, here we go.
Thanks, Terry.
Yes, sir.
Next Monday, March 11th, the 6th-month anniversary of the attack in America, FAIR is sponsoring a lobby day in Sacramento where we are going to lobby the governor and our state representatives to not allow any driver's license bill this year or any year to be passed that allows illegal aliens and or terrorists to get a driver's license.
How do they get in touch with you, Rick?
Call me at area code 415-454-5653 or email me at sroltman@fairus.org, and I'll tell you how to get signed up and what we plan to do.
Give that number one more time, Rick.
415-454-5653.
All right, Rick. Thanks for that announcement.
Good work, Terry. Keep it up.
Okay, buddy. All right, real quick, let's go to Pat calling from Sunland. Pat, not much time.
Hi, Terry. I wondered if you heard the statement that Gray Davis made on Friday. He was reading to some school children about Dr. Seuss,
And when he finished, he's told them they could do anything in life that they wanted. He hesitated, and then he said, as long as it's legal.
Huh. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden we got to be legal. But that don't apply to aliens who come here. It's unbelievable.
Right. That Rick Almond should get a tape of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Pat, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to John, calling from Anaheim. John, not much time.
I know, Terry. Thank you for everything, and I hope everyone realizes that we have nothing to complain about unless we vote for Nick Jessen. If we vote for Nick Jessen, then we have everything in the world to complain about. But if we don't, we have nothing.
All right, John.
And thank you so much.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Virginia, calling from Lakewood. Virginia, you're on the Terry Anderson Show.
Speaking of English only, recently I called Ron Paul's office and I said, this is the United States of America. What in the devil is holding up that bill, English only, in this country? And this fellow said, well, it'll never go. George Bush isn't for it. I just want to say, if George Bush and people like them thought they just might lose their jobs, if we think it, talk it, and so on, things might change a little bit.
Well, we have to put the pressure on Virginia, and that's what we haven't done. We keep going out there and supporting them. We keep sending them money and begging them to do what we want. We keep voting for the lesser of the evils, and we keep getting the same thing, evil and no turnaround for our money. We don't get nothing. And I tell people all the time, why do you keep supporting? And I've got people who tell me, well, I support the Republicans because the Democrats are no good. What has a Republican done for you lately? Nothing. Nothing. And the Republicans, they're all the same now, Virginia. Yeah. We're not getting anybody who's looking any different. One's trying to be like the other one, and the other one doesn't care about us in the first place.
Amen. Good night.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your call. Call me again. Let's go to Phil calling from Costa Mesa. Not much time.
Terry?
Yes, sir.
I just want to say that I think the people in this country are in a mental straitjacket. The polls are telling them how to vote. Otherwise, they would.
That is true, Phil.
Tuesday, they would vote for Nick Jessen, and he would become the Republican candidate.
Well, you know what?
Because he's the only one that's going to do any good, and the people the polls are controlling the voters in this country.
Well, first of all, Phil, I don't believe the polls anytime, and you are right. They are controlling people. People look up and say, "Oh, this guy's ahead. Let me vote for him." And that you talk about throwing away a vote. That's a throwaway because I don't believe the polls. I think they manipulate them any kind of way they want to.
Exactly. And,
okay.
And that's what it's all about.
All right, Phil. You call me again, buddy.
Thank you, Terry. You're doing a good job.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Well, folks, we don't have any more time. Let me just say this. We had a lot of calls from all over the country tonight, and we get that all the time, and because people are listening. Maybe it's because in their town they don't have anybody says the things we say. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm the greatest guy in the world. What I'm saying is I'm going to say it like it's true, and if people want to hear it, tune in. I want to thank everybody and remind them to stick around for anything and everything that's country, the Boomer McClellan Show. I also want to thank the lovely Carol DeLees for taking your calls, my engineer, Anthony Blythe, Boy Wonder, and tonight our cameraman, because we have put this on video, the lovely Sherry Blankhorn. I want everybody to remember we need your help to stay on the air. Send your donations to the Terry Anderson Show, 3940 Laurel Canyon Boulevard, number 643, Studio City, California, 91604. Folks, whatever you do, make sure to go to our website from time to time. We do update it. That's the TerryAndersonShow.com. Make sure to listen to Ray Bream every Sunday from 6 to 8. And for the up-to-date information on the illegal alien invasion, go to Glenn Spence's webpage, AmericanPatrol.com. This is Terry Anderson for Smart Talk 870 KRLA saying, we will be back again next week, as usual, attempting to articulate the popular rage. Good night, folks.
The Terry Anderson Show was sponsored by the Friends of Terry Anderson on Smart Talk 870 KRLA.